Okay, what are so many things wrong with this episode? Well, for one thing, SpongeBob was about to enjoy his day, giving Gary his breakfast, until all of a sudden he sees that the condition of his house was getting like abysmal. And what does he do about it? He boards up the sides and is ready, and he was about to feed Gary, and it only continued in his condition of his house only gets worse rather than better, and it continues to rot even more. SpongeBob then has a problem, and he calls people out to help. Like he calls Patrick, and Patrick was having a dream that he was doing jack shit in his dream. Like, literally, that's all he'd ever done. But then he was alarmed after when he heard his name being called by SpongeBob. And Patrick comes to help, and Squidward refuses to help, much to his disfavor and displeasure, but ends up helping him, with Patrick grabbing his legs and arms, tying him up so that the pineapple won't collapse. Wow, poor Squidward. I mean, what's wrong with people thinking that it's funny to torture Squidward? It's not. It's just really sadistic, if you ask me. I mean, I even find the plot to be a huge mess as well. And SpongeBob even calls his friends, like, for instance, Sandy and Patrick was being like a douchebag, and he's like, duh, nothing's going on. SpongeBob's house is so boring. And he's acting like nothing is happening. Fucking asshole. When your friends when your friend is in trouble, and you call and he sends you to help, that's how you treat them? By saying everything's going hunky dory and acting like nothing happened? Wow. And I hate how his friends ignored SpongeBob's protests. Like, wow. This really reminds me of another episode where SpongeBob was neglectful himself. And it was, Have You Seen a Snail? Where SpongeBob completely regrets Gary. I mean, he completely ignores Gary. He ignores Gary. And I forgot, I meant to say that in the first part. He ignores Gary, and with so much neglect that Gary actually left with SpongeBob's inconsiderate behavior. I remember that episode, and I thought it was a lousy episode because SpongeBob had proven to be a lousy pet owner in that episode. Wow, such terrible friends SpongeBob have in this episode. He could have at least asked someone else who actually do help him, but this is really just a shitty concept and they just want to ignore SpongeBob's protests and do whatever the hell they want to do. And yeah, the ending didn't make sense ending at all. Like, At the end, he was about to condemn his house, but it turns out that SpongeBob has his house back with a can that says furnished pineapple in a can, and he thanks Gary about this. And I'm not a Squidward torture festival because he has a severe pain in the neck. Because SpongeBob was a huge pain in the ass to Squidward in seasons 5 to 9. Well, Patrick, he was a real pain in the ass because he took him and grabbed his arms and legs so that to help SpongeBob's pineapple house to prevent it from collapsing, but it didn't work. It collapsed, and yeah, you get the picture. And I thought the writing was pretty terrible. All this episode is about is ignorance and neglect. Like, really, they don't do anything, or they just do jack shit to actually help SpongeBob. Like, what kind of friend are they to SpongeBob? When a friend helps you, they really help you. They don't just watch you or do nothing. When your friend is in trouble, you have to help them. You just can't sit or stand there not helping. I mean, that's not right. But that's what SpongeBob's friend did. Well, actually, they actually rebuilt it. But SpongeBob wasn't too happy about it. Yeah, and I also find this concept to be absolutely shitty. Like, I don't know what they were thinking, but this is just a stupid concept and a stupid plot right there. With a very stupid ending. So yeah, Home Sweet Rubble. I find this episode to be absolutely terrible, in my opinion. Yeah. In my opinion, it was terrible. I would prefer Home Sweet Pineapple instead of this episode any day. Because Home Sweet Pineapple was actually a pretty good episode. This, however, is not, in my opinion. It just comes out as a lousy mess, and it's all about ignorance and neglect, and it's not a very good episode. It's really cheesy and mediocre at best as well. So yeah. So bottom line, I think they should have done a much better job with this episode. Cause this came out terrible. So for my final rating for Home Sweet Rubble, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 7. What a terrible SpongeBob episode. And that will conclude my SpongeBob episode rant for this year. Thank you for watching, folks. Stay tuned for more SpongeBob episode rants next year in 2023. And make sure you comment, like this video, subscribe to me, turn on notifications, and don't forget to send me a request, and I'll try to do them as soon as possible. This is me, Jonathan's Media Shack here, signing off. I'll see you guys later. Stay safe, have a great day, and peace out, y'all.